Hello.
Hi, is this?
Yeah, we do want to sell it. I want it out of the garage.
No worries. Is there a good time to come by and just take a look at the car and just see how it is?
Tomorrow would be a good day.
Okay, yeah, tomorrow's perfect. What time would be best? What is going on, you guys? Welcome to today's video. So, what you just heard was me calling the owner of the potential new car. Again, I haven't seen it in person yet. No photos, I don't know condition, but it is a very rare car, and again, depending on transmission, this could be an awesome score. Now, she did say it does need some work. Again, I don't know the condition, but again, tomorrow at 1:30, we have a date to go see this car, and I'm hoping it's good. It's a cool color, I know that much so far, but let's see how it is tomorrow. Now, aside from potential new cars, we also have this. So if you guys saw the last video, I pulled this hoodie, the exact hoodie, the black one, out of the Passat, and I actually threw it in the trash can. But people are saying this is actually a Kanye West hoodie, and it could be worth a lot of money. Now, these ones here, 34, 40, 47, 34. This one says 400. So I'm not sure. I guess if it's a real one, it could be worth. So that's the hoodie I pulled out. There's the price tag. So, I'm gonna go grab it out of the trash can and just see what's good. How hilarious would it be that we bought a $1,000 Passat that then came with a $400 hoodie? There's no way, right? There is absolutely no way. No way that's the case. Also, yeah, I fit 3 cars in here, which is sick. It's kind of tight, but it works. But we'll get to this in a second. I'm just curious to see. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, there you are. This could be a $400 hoodie. But let's check the tag. I'm gonna just throw it on the ground real fast. I don't know how to tell if it's real or not. Where's the tag? I mean, that says Gildan. I can't imagine that's real, right? I doubt it. I mean, Kanye's not printing hoodies on Gildan, is he? It's probably a fake one. So, it's probably not a $400 hoodie, but it'd be crazy if it was. So even though this isn't real, or at least I highly, highly doubt this is a real one, I might keep it, you know? It's a medium, which is my size, and it came with our $1,000 Passat, so you know what? Maybe we'll wash it and we'll hang on to this one. All right, let me show you what we'll work with here. So front of the car, really close there, but still enough room. And then back of the car, really close there, but again, still enough room. Now this isn't ideal parking, but again, for winter time and keeping cars out of the snow and the elements and putting them aside, 1, 2, 3, 4, should be no problem. Should be no problem. Now I was gonna try and fit this car in front of that one, but I don't think having the wagon and the sedan I don't think there's enough room, honestly. With the Mark III being the smallest car, I can push it way, way back. These two fit, but I just don't think 2 like full-size cars will fit on this. I'm gonna try, but I mean, we already cut it really close. I mean, I got another probably 4 inches there and maybe 3 in the back. So, I mean, it'd be close. I'd have to be like this car to the back wall, this bumper to that bumper, and maybe like, I don't even know how much space in the front, but I'll have to try it. Right, there she is, the V6 30 valve in all of her glory. So what I want to go through and do is take off this cover, that one, and just kind of get an overall look at what's going on inside here. So the plan for today, I want to dig into the Passat a little bit more. I want to get under the car, see what it needs down there, and then into the engine bay and see what we need in there. Start making a list. We can order some parts. Now I talked to a lot of people, Paul from Deutsche Auto Parts, Charles, I'm a mechanic, about the transmission issues I'm having. Some people say it could be solenoid. Some people say it could be torque converter. Some people say just a filter and trans flush could fix the problem. We won't know until we try. I'm going to start with the trans flush with new fluid and a new filter, and maybe that'll take care of us when we be good to go, or that'll do virtually nothing and we'll need a new torque converter or a whole new transmission or a solenoid. We don't know just yet, but I'm gonna start small, the easiest thing to do, and go from there. I also wanna go through and run the engine code on the car and see what that's up for. And then in the engine bay itself, I wanna pull some of the engine cover plastics off and get a better look and see where our leaks are coming from. I'm probably gonna go through and order the entire gasket kit, valve covers, cam chain tensioner, all the gasket kits, and just go through and try and get every single leak taken care of. I also noticed our rain tray has a big hole in the middle, so there's probably water down in there. Hopefully it's all sealed, but I'm gonna pull this off and check it there as well. And a lot of people said that in this car, the TCM is actually on the floor of the passenger side of the car. And then also watching Charles' video on the Passats, the problems they have, I guess in these cars, the actual floorboard is like, I don't know, 3-4 inches deep. So you could have like 2-3 inches of standing water down the floor of the car. Now granted, I haven't seen any leaks inside of this car from the sunroof or anything like that. So hopefully ours is dry, but I definitely want to go down there and make sure our TCM is not covered in water. So this piece up here is all floppity like that. It looks like after I swapped in the new battery, they never put the little seal here back on that goes all the way around. They kind of just left it like so. So this is kind of floppy. This seems loose. Kind of flopping. Thankfully, all of my little screws for the engine cover are still there. That's surprising. Most times those are gone, but I'm glad it's all there. But this section is just flops. I should pull this out. Take everything out today. So you can go. Ooh, that filter has seen. I mean, it's clean, but like someone's like fingers were like in there. But I don't see any standing water down at the bottom, so that's a good sign. That's a good sign at least. Like I said, this is open here, but it all looks dry in here, so that's good. At least I don't have like 2-3 inches of just standing water in there, so that's a good sign. I want to know why this is so mangled. It's really not, I mean, it's a little dirty, but like not terrible condition, but like, why is it so mangled? Oh, I just made a mess in the car. That was my fault. I also noticed the clamp that holds the battery is missing, so this kind of just slides around. But I mean, can't like go anywhere, not the biggest deal, but it is missing. Also, I noticed this plug coming off of the positive terminal. And whatever it's plugged into, the wires on this side are gone. But what would that be? Looks like it was like clipped like there or something. I don't see any loose wires that I can see at the current moment. If you're a Passat owner, what is this? What does this go to? Don't know. But what's nice though, looking down there, it's clean. Like there's no rust down there. Like I said, there's a hole here. You can see they kind of broke some of the rain tray trying to get, I guess, the battery in or out. But water has definitely gotten down in there, and I guess it drains nice because I don't see any rust down there, which is also very reassuring. So this piece here over the intake box is going to pops off. A couple of like push tabs, so that's off and out of the way. Next will be these 3 engine covers on top. Voila, she's gone. That's one. Voila, no more covers. Now we've got a better look at our V6 going on here. She's looking a little dirty, but honestly, not terrible. I said it's probably never been cleaned, but again, it's really not that bad. And the top side, at least, I don't see too much oil saturation. Oh, there's a little bit right in that corner there. I was told it's usually the back side by the cam chain tensioner. A little half moon seal, a little disc piece that leaks back towards the back side. And there's a bit of residue up here towards the front. But it's not like terrible. I've seen much worse in terms of oil leaks, so at least for right here, she ain't looking too bad. Now I will say I've seen a ton of these in the junkyard in Germany, but in terms of like actually working on one of these, I have no experience, but looking at it, it looks fairly straightforward. Coil pack right in the front, all of our leads, spark plugs going down. Looks fairly similar, and the timing on this thing is all on the front side with a tensioner in the back, which reminds me very similar of the 1.8T, having all the timing on one side with the one cam tensioner in the back. So I mean, it's a lot more stuff and looks kind of busy, but it really doesn't seem like it'd be too hard to work on this thing. Now it's a bit tighter, it's a bigger engine in a very small area. I don't think she'll give us too much trouble. So in terms of the gasket kit, it comes with left and right side valve cover gaskets, these spark plug gaskets for both sides as well, the cam chain tensioner gasket in the back, and I believe it has the cam, like the circle ones on the front side as well. And I think that's everything for just the top. Then you have like head gasket below, and there's more like down. But I think for this top section, which most of our leaks are coming from, the valve cover gasket, spark plug gasket, and the ones in the back, that should hopefully take care of 99% of our leaks up here. Had to push the car back just a smidge. It was getting a little bit too toasty in the sun, but now I can show you guys a bit better inside of here. And if you peek behind this right here, which is the front cover, you can see our timing belts right there, which I said all the timing stuff is right in the front. Very, very easy to do. A handful of things to pull off, but I mean, front of the car, you just slides forward all the way off, and then it's all right here. So it's really not too involved to get to. And now that it's not so bright, give you guys a better look at the oil seepage on the top section here on the right side, and then over on the top on the left side. It's not terrible, I've seen it worse, but it's definitely leaking. And then it's kind of dark down there, but I can see it on the side down over here. So I think for the top side of the engine, that's pretty much it. We need a gasket kit to fix our leaks. We need a timing belt kit to handle that. But the car starts, runs fine. There's no misfire, so spark plugs and coil pack should still be fine. It's got a new battery already. That thing's mangled, so new cabin filter for sure. But I don't see any rust inside of here on anything. It's very, very clean. It's dusty, but under that, like, it looks very, very clean. No damage to anything, which is very nice to see. So for the top side, not too bad. Your basic maintenance. So now I'm gonna grab the jack, lift up the car, and see how the bottom side is looking. Well, might have been a slight oversight on my part. I could have put this car a little bit further this way or a lot further that way. I don't know if the jack will fit. I don't really feel like moving this car, but will she fit? Oh, it just might. Oh, that was close to the wheel. I think we're fine. I think we're fine. If I hit the car, none of you saw anything, don't tell my wife. Oh, we're good. Hold on. Hold on, hold on, we're good. We're good, we're good. Plenty of room. Disregard everything I said. So at the current moment, I don't have any jack stands, but what I do have is a nice log. Slide on in there. So now if the car falls, at least it doesn't completely crush me. All right, moment of truth. How are we looking down here? That's hanging. What's that to? Looks like the little bracket that goes to that. But, so actually surprisingly enough, I mean, I expected a lot worse. It's really not that bad down here. There's some stuff here from the power steering lines, looks like. But that might just be oil from the top dripping down and laying on top of here. We'll go through all that. I'm gonna go through and clean everything off, then we'll see where the leaks are coming from after that. Some by the oil filter housing over there. But pan looks very clean. Subframe is actually a lot cleaner than I thought. And I expected some rust down here. I think the guy said this car was bought originally, I wanna say in either Tennessee or Virginia, and then went to another state somewhere over there, and then came out here. But for a car that's definitely seen like salt the winter before, I'm pleasantly surprised. It's really clean down here. A little bit of, like, you know, oil saturation, but I mean, I can live with that. How my bushing's looking. Have to get a pry bar there and see, but I mean, I'm genuinely surprised at the condition underneath here. I expected way more rust. This really isn't bad. Those gotta go. That whole exhaust system's gotta go. Straight pipe. From there all the way to the back. No rust over there. I am very surprised. So a little bit of cleaning to do in the front section. Some gas to replace, some timing. But like I said, currently, this suspension's a pain for a lot of people, but thankfully at the current moment, there's not a single squeak, there's no clunks at all. It rides very, very smooth, which is awesome. So thankfully, I don't have to worry about any of this right now. Pleasantly surprised. Let's take a look from this side, make sure we're not missing anything. A little more gunked up on this side, up by the transmission, which whatever that little port there is. It's really not too bad. I expected much worse than this, and I'm pleased with this. Like, if you look, sway bar bushings aren't blown out. All the bushings on the lower control arm or the ball joints down there. All the boots are good on this side as well. Axle boot's good. These down here are all good. Up in there's okay still. It's crazy. My little dude, always out here chilling. We gotta find a name for him. So at the current moment, it's honestly looking like this car doesn't need too much to get it back to where I want it to be in terms of a solid daily. Now there is still the question of the transmission issue, which I'm hoping and praying the flush and the filter fixes that, which it may or may not. But aside from that, just doing the gaskets and the timing, the car's still drivable as it is, but I want it, you know, the right way. But if I just did the gaskets, the timing, stop the leaks, make sure the timing is good, I mean, I'd say it's a pretty solid car as is. The suspension looks solid. It's not rusted underneath. I'm actually really surprised at the condition underneath this car, which is awesome for us. Also for our parts list, I almost forgot. We need brakes front and rear severely. The car still stops, but it's not good. So you can see the lovely condition of this front rotor. There's actually still a little bit of pad left, but this one, this caliper, seems kind of stuck. It's just been dragging and dragging and dragging, which is all the like metal on the side of the car as well, like all of that nonsense. So gotta address that. This one on this side is in a little better shape because it's not dragging, and then the rear two are basically gone. It's pretty much metal on metal back there. So looking under here, I want to take a quick peek at our exhaust situation. It's kind of unfortunate because the only section that uncouples is right there behind the cats. I was hoping there'd be a section back here on the muffler somewhere, because there's one on the far side, one on this side. So you have two cats there. You have this like suitcase thing here, and then two more mufflers in the back. But I'd have to unbolt it from way up there, and that'd just be open cat, and that's gonna be way too loud. So for now, we'll leave the exhaust intact. So I might have gotten a little carried away. I didn't go full send, but you guys know me. When I pull something off a car, if it's dirty, I have to clean it up before I put it back in the engine bay. And it's not done yet, but the quick wipe down I did, I mean, look at this. That's not bad. Definitely needs some trim paint on the plastic stuff, but for a quick wipe down, not bad. Again, when I have things off the car, if it's easy to wipe down and clean, I just can't let things be dirty. So still a lot more work to do through the rails and on the firewall and stuff. But for the most part, all like the dust and kind of like light grime is gone. And minus that ugly green pole, the engine bay, not too shabby. All right, enough engine talk. Let's go ahead and get into this side and try and find our TCM. All right, so actually before I go ahead and do anything with the TCM down there in the corner, I'll take the car up to AutoZone real fast because my VCDS is not working and I want them to scan the code today because they close in about 30 minutes. So we'll do that first, then come back home and check on the TCM. You know, I gotta say it again. The B5.5 Passats, even though the suspension is all crazy with all the arms and everything, this thing rides so comfy. And honestly, it shifts so smooth. All we gotta do is figure out our first gear if that's the issue. Hopefully it's just a flush and a new filter, we're good to go. But even if that doesn't fix it, driving the car in the manual mode, it still works just fine. So made it to AutoZone and there's a green Mercedes and a McLaren 720S, and you bet I'm about to back it right next to him, let him know what's good. Just kidding, I parked way over here. They're not worthy of the good old Passat. All right, my friends, so we got ourselves one, and just one, singular code for the engine light. And it came back as a P0730, gear incorrect ratio. Now the guy inside AutoZone was trying to tell me I need a whole new transmission, and he showed me like a $5,000 like option with a $1,000 core, and I was like, I don't think it's that, because obviously the car, you see me drive the car, so clearly the transmission itself isn't completely shot. But I was reading online for that same code, and on one website here, it was saying this means the automatic transmission is experiencing a problem, which is usually caused by dirty transmission fluid or problems with the shift solenoid. So in my case, I'm hoping and praying fresh trans fluid, a fresh filter gets us fully sorted. Because I said, the car drives and shifts so well. It's just that first gear in drive where it doesn't want to catch, put it into manual mode, it catches right away, shifts no problem, up and down, and it's good to go. So, fingers crossed, trans flush and filter gets us sorted. And I mean, I hope it's not a whole new transmission. I don't think it is. I'm gonna read some more. I'm gonna try and find a Vortex forum for the same code and see what other people have done. But like I said, I'm hoping it's just the fluid and filter and we're good to go. But it is nice to know the engine itself has 0 codes, which is sick. So funny enough, after checking the codes on the car, my engine light is now gone. Now this one is still on for the brake pads because they're gone, but engine light, there's no more. We'll see how long it lasts. So made it home, no issue, the car drove good. per usual. The engine light did stay off, which is surprising. I turned the car off, turned it back on, and the light's still gone. So I'm not sure why it's gone now, or possibly the AutoZone code reader just clears it right away, and I didn't know that, so that might be the case. But for the time being, it's not on. Now, I did some more reading on Vortex forums and a few other places. This one said it could be a faulty wire on the speed sensor, but I'm not experiencing any type of irregular shifting. The car shifts so smooth up and down, so I don't think it's anything like that. Now, worst case, it could be a bad valve body or a torque converter, but again, the car seems to drive and hold the gear so well, just not in drive. I don't think it's though. It very well could be. Like I said, this is my first time ever messing with an automatic transmission that's having issues, but again, I'm hoping with the way the car drives so smooth, upshifts, downshifts, never has any type of weird anything except for not fully grabbing in drive. I'm hoping new fluid and a filter will set us straight. I could be very, very wrong. That might not help at all, but with the way the car drives so smooth, there's no hiccup in shifting where it doesn't want to shift or it's like stuck in a gear. None of that kind of stuff. So I'm hoping it's something like major wrong with the transmission. Now, this website here shows a few other possible causes for the code. You got low transmission fluid, dirty fluid, shift solenoids, transmission mechanical problems, or the TCU could be bad, which we're gonna check the TCU right now. All right, so I had said the TCM was in this back right corner. It's actually pretty much like center of the passenger floor, which is that black box right there. And you can see there is no water down there, which is awesome. So I don't think there's any actual issue with the TCM. I'm gonna open it up and double check, but the lack of water is very, very good to see. So our TCM box has been pulled out from under the carpet and it is completely dry as far as I can see. All inside here. It looks like there's never been any water down there, and like the foam itself isn't moldy or like, you know, like damp like it has been water before and they cleaned it out. Everything down there looks completely good to go. So I think this is fine. I mean, this could have gone bad possibly. I don't have any way of really checking it, but with the fact there's no water down there, there's been no water inside of this, I think this is good to go. All right, so I think I'm gonna end this video here. I have a pretty good idea of all the parts I need for this car to get it sorted, but before I order any of those other parts, I'm gonna start with the transmission and order the fluid and the filter kit first and see what that does. If we need a whole new transmission, hopefully not, but if we do, I wanna just, you know that ahead of time before I spend money on timing stuff, all the gaskets, the brakes. I wanna start with the transmission, get that sorted, and then go from there. So again, fingers crossed, new fluid and a new filter has the transmission working perfectly. I mean, it shifts great now. I just want to be able to put the car into drive and have it just go from there and not need manual mode. I can just drive it like that and be fine, but I want the entire thing to work as it should. So we're gonna start there. Now, if we go through and change the filter and the fluid and nothing changes, I might just leave it as is. Now, we could try and search around for another transmission to put in this car. I don't know who's gonna have one out here. I might get lucky, but for the most part, I don't think I have an easy time finding this auto transmission out here in North Dakota, but maybe I could look for a manual swap, but there's a lot of parts I need for that. This is supposed to be just a cheap winter beater to use for one season. At the end of it, sell it, keep it. I'm not quite sure with that yet, but since the car does operate fine in the manual mode, if the filter and the fluid doesn't fix our issue, I might just send as is. Again, we only need it for one season, and I'm pretty sure the way the car's driving now, it'll last. And at that point, we'll go through, fix all the oil leaks, do the timing, do the brakes, and then just send it as is, and I think it'll still be fine. As always, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Do not forget, be thankful for every single day. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.